TikTok account that goes by the name Palo usually has absolutely nothing to do with the paranormal. They hardly post anything apart from quotes in Spanish. However, one particular video from the account has really stood out to us. It was recorded from inside an underground train passing through the Iglesia metro station, which is located in the Xaburi district of Madrid, Spain. This happens to be one of the oldest stations in the entire network, with many people reporting hearing strange, unexplained noises echoing from the deep tunnels. We're going to play this video for you to see if you can spot the terrifying abnormality before we dissect it together.
Fíjate bien, ¿eh? Tú no pareces ni... Pero juro que había visto gente.
Like Nuke says, did you see it? Let us take a much closer look. As the train departs from Iglesia station and travels through the pitch-black tunnel, nothing seems out of the ordinary at first. But right as the train reaches its next stop and emerges from the dark tunnel, look closely at the empty entrance to the platform. You can clearly see the figure of a girl dressed completely in white with very long hair, just standing there in the shadows. She looks entirely out of place in the empty station. When we enhance the image and zoom in, something about her just does not look right. She almost does not look human at all. So what do you make of this? Is this a restless spirit haunting the ancient tunnels of Madrid? Or is it just a regular commuter waiting in a very creepy spot? You decide. A woman from Alberta, Canada, who goes by the TikTok handle Ranana0007, usually posts completely normal content, travel clips, daily vlogs, and simple moments from her life. Nothing on her account suggests she was chasing ghosts, monsters, or paranormal activity. But while working a night shift as an on-site security guard somewhere in Alberta, one routine patrol suddenly turned into something deeply unsettling. Out in the distance, she noticed a strange figure moving through the darkness. And whatever it was, it looked wrong enough that she immediately pulled out her phone and started recording.
We work night security 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and we see something coming at us at midnight.
How is it? Raylan!
At first glance, you might think it's just a trespasser walking through the grass. But the longer you watch, the harder that becomes to believe. The figure doesn't walk like a normal person. It moves with this smooth, unnatural glide, almost like its feet aren't touching the ground the way they should. And when the footage is brightened, the sight becomes even more disturbing. The humanoid figure appears to have no visible face, no exposed skin, and its entire body looks covered in thick, dark fur. Shaken, but still needing answers, she returned to the same area on another night to investigate further. From inside her car, she managed to capture the same creature again. Only this time, it seemed to notice her.
We went to a back road by the same gate, seen something, and tried to back into a field we seen behind us. And yes, we are chicken shits.
In the second clip, the figure is no longer just drifting along the edge of the property. Now its attention appears locked directly on the vehicle. Sitting there in the dark, they watch as the faceless creature slowly begins closing the distance, step by step, moving with terrifying purpose. Panic takes over, and they throw the car into reverse. But the entity keeps coming, pushing forward through the headlights as if it has no fear at all. Eventually, they stop trying to figure out what they're seeing and get out of there. So, did this Alberta security guard capture a strange person in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or did she accidentally drive straight into the territory of something far more disturbing? Paranormal investigator, who goes by the username mission.mp4, was recently contacted by locals regarding a very creepy abandoned house. A family abruptly fled the home a few years ago, leaving all their furniture behind, and even keeping their personal family photos hanging on the walls. Rumors say the property is filled with an intense paranormal presence and violent poltergeist activity. The investigator has been documenting this eerie location for over a month now and decided to set up multiple static security cameras to capture what happens when no one is around. What those cameras caught might just keep you awake tonight. You saw that, right? Over on the left side of the room, you can clearly see the window curtain move on its own. It looks exactly like a heavy draft is blowing through the house, but the investigator confirmed that all doors and windows were completely shut and locked at the time. Then, things get even more bizarre. Keep your eyes on the framed photo of the two girls on the wall. It suddenly starts to move and shake all by itself, almost like unseen hands are trying to tear it down. You can also spot multiple strange orbs flying around the room. While cynics will say it is just dust, the complete lack of airflow makes this footage incredibly intriguing. But the static cameras captured even more unexplained activity. In this clip, the investigator is remotely panning the camera around the dark and empty house. Suddenly, the camera feed violently glitches. Just as the picture clears up, you can clearly see that one of the chairs has inexplicably moved on its own. It is a very brief moment, but they are absolutely certain that not a single living person was inside the home when this happened. Next, we move the camera setup in the abandoned kid's bedroom. Out of nowhere, a small object simply starts rolling across the table with absolutely no one standing anywhere near it. We tried to zoom in and enhance the footage to see if this was some sort of trick. However, we were not able to definitively detect any hidden wires or signs of foul play. Finally, we check the dining room camera, and this is where things become truly terrifying. A sinister, growling, static scream suddenly echoes through the empty house, causing the camera feed to glitch once again. Immediately after the chilling sound, the dining room door slowly and deliberately moves all on its own. So what exactly drove that family to completely abandon their home all those years ago? Are these cameras capturing the violent poltergeist that forced them out? Or is there a completely logical explanation for all of this? You decide. A security guard was making his rounds alone inside a closed movie theater complex when he heard something that instantly stopped him in his tracks. The sound of a child crying somewhere inside the building. No movies were playing. No guests were inside. The theater had already been shut down to the public for hours, but somewhere in that dark, empty complex, a small child could be heard sobbing. In the recording, a young child can be seen standing near the ticket counter, clearly upset and crying. At first, it almost looks like a lost kid who wandered away from their parents. But, according to the guard, that should have been impossible. He claimed the building had been completely empty since early that morning. That's why he didn't rush over right away. Instead, he froze, kept his distance, and started filming because something about the situation felt wrong. Then, as the child slowly moved toward the far end of the theater complex, the crying suddenly stopped. No footsteps echoed through the hallway. No voice called out. No door opened. The entire place went dead silent, as if the child had simply vanished into the darkness. Later searched the building, checking every hallway, theater room, restroom, and restricted area he could access. But he found nothing. No child. No open exit. No sign of how someone that young could have gotten inside or disappeared without a trace. No missing child report was filed that night. No parents ever came forward, and investigators never reached a clear explanation. So was this just a strange misunderstanding? Or did this security guard capture something paranormal inside an empty movie theater? I'll let you decide. An Armenian paranormal investigator named Jerb Nakin is well known for his brave explorations of abandoned buildings at night. He broadcasts many of his terrifying adventures live for his audience to see. And over time, Jerb has managed to capture some truly unexplained poltergeist activity and strange phenomena. But one night in March of 2026, he took on an exploration that would push him to his absolute limits. He decided to explore a massive abandoned psychiatric hospital in the dead of night. As he ventures deeper into the decaying halls of the building, the paranormal activity becomes impossible to ignore.
Էնի լավ հասկացանք իմ համար չէր, բայց սա ում համար է։ Օրայսի ինգնել վրես ես կմեռնեի։ Ով է հանել լուսամուտները։ Ստե լուսամուտ չի։ Նենով էր։ Կգաս։ Այս ինչը որ նոր լուսամուտի մեջ տեսամ։ Օրո! Սիրտս կայնով։
As Gerb is cautiously making his way up a dark staircase, a heavy white piece of wood blocking a room on the second floor suddenly falls directly towards him, missing him by mere inches. He manages to get inside the room, but it is completely empty. But you saw that, right? As he looks out the second floor window, A strange white apparition seems to peek at him from the outside, quickly ducking out of sight. Keep in mind, they are on the second story of an abandoned hospital. Though he is terrified, Ger bravely presses on. But the spirits in this building are not done with him yet.
Հնարավոր է քեզ տեսնել։ Բացես, որ խնդրեմ։ Նայեք, շուրջ բոլորս մենակ եմ։ Էй, նայեք, իրոք շուրջ բոլորս մենակ եմ։ Դու վաղուց ես այստեղ բանտարկված։
Right in front of his eyes, a walking assistant's frame rolls across the hallway and into a room completely on its own. Gerb goes into the room to investigate, but there is absolutely no one there. Suddenly, he hears a loud bang behind him coming from a bathroom door. He points his camera just in time to capture something truly chilling. The door unlatches and swings open all on its own right in front of him. The door proceeds to open and close multiple times before finally coming to a dead stop. At this point, most people would run for their lives, but Gerb decides to keep going.
Ալո։
Finally, he reaches a dark and silent hallway, only to be greeted by the sound of a telephone loudly ringing. This building has been abandoned for over 10 years and has absolutely no power connected to it. It is completely unclear if the phone lines are even active after all this time. After letting it ring for a while, he picks up the receiver to see if anyone is on the other side. Through the static, he hears what sounds like a young person speaking, before the line abruptly cuts off completely. After this terrifying final encounter, Gerb decides he has seen enough and officially ends the investigation. So what do you think is haunting this abandoned psychiatric hospital? A paranormal investigator from France who goes by the name Paranormal Hallmont on TikTok is well known for exploring abandoned buildings and homes. He usually broadcasts his chilling explorations live on YouTube for his fans to watch in real time. In this video, he and his investigative partner are running an investigation inside a very creepy abandoned home. To try and capture some evidence, they set up a motion-activated bear in a doorway, and a music box that they claim has no remote control functionality whatsoever. But what they end up capturing on camera is definitely strange.
S'il y a quelqu'un ici, est-ce que vous pouvez vous rapprocher à cette petite jouet qui est par terre, on m'ouvrir
cette boîte à musique, l'une des deux,
Oh.
parfait. Vous pouvez m'ouvrir cette petite boîte, s'il vous plaît, dans ce cas-là? Est-ce que vous pouvez le faire, s'il vous plaît? Edgar. La dinguerie.
Là, il est en train de jouer avec les deux.
Rapprochez-vous assez de jouer. Ah tiens, il n'y avait même pas besoin que je le dise. Abusé, mec.
Je me demande c'est qui.
Oh putain. Oh la dinguerie. Tiens, y a rien et y a personne. Tiens.
The investigators begin by asking the spirits in the house to either activate the music box or walk close to the motion detector. Shortly after making their request, the motion sensor goes off, indicating that something unseen has just walked right in front of it. Then, when they ask the entity to open the music box, you can clearly see the lid of the box slowly lift open completely on its own, with absolutely no one standing near it. Now, while we have to point out that this could potentially be done with a hidden remote control, what happens next is a lot harder to explain away. As the motion sensor continues to activate, the device suddenly gets violently yanked back into the dark room. The investigators immediately rush inside to see who or what grabbed it, but they find the room completely empty. So what is lurking in this abandoned home? Is it an angry spirit that wanted to be left alone? Or is this just a very clever trick played by the investigators? You decide. A man working inside a cramped maintenance garage beside a cemetery has been documenting something that seems to be getting worse every time he goes back. The building is packed with tools, old equipment, and a bright orange mower sitting near the back. But lately, it feels like something else is in there with him. He has captured strange noises, foul smells, objects falling with no clear cause, and an atmosphere so heavy that he says it feels like the garage itself doesn't want him to leave. It all began after he locked up for the day, shut off the lights, and started heading out, only to hear what sounded like a laugh coming from somewhere near the old mower. Not a normal laugh, but something disembodied, unnatural, and close enough to make him turn around. Shaken, he pulled out his phone and stepped back inside to record.
Alright, so I was just closing this up. Like just locking it up to head out. And I closed the bay. And I was closing this door. I shut the lights off, getting ready to close this door. And heard, I swear, I heard a laugh. And it was the most unnerving, and it was such a weird laugh. It sounded like it was coming from that back mower, like something was sitting on that back mower. I should have just left. I should have just left. I should have left it alone. I don't even know what that was, where it came from, where it went. But I'm not sticking around to find out, so I'm out of here. Screw this. I'm out of here. I am not sticking around.
As he explains what he just heard, a violent metallic crash suddenly explodes from somewhere off camera. The sound is sharp, heavy, and echoes across the concrete floor. But when he looks around, nothing appears to be out of place. No fallen object, no obvious source, nothing that explains the noise. His breathing changes almost instantly, and you can hear the fear settle into his voice as he backs toward the door and gets out of there. For some viewers, that crash alone would have been enough. But this was only the beginning. He later returned during a live stream inside the same garage, and right away, he kept mentioning a disgusting smell he couldn't identify. Something like sulfur mixed with decay. That detail becomes even creepier when you remember the garage sits directly beside a cemetery with a church steeple visible beyond the headstones through the back window. Then, while he was talking to his viewers, something happened that completely changed the mood.
I really do. Good evening from Australia. Hey, Rachel. Good evening. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, maybe put phone away from wrench. Yeah, I don't want to come back to a broken phone. Please go get some fries. Yeah, I'm gonna go out. Oh God, it smells almost like a skunk mixed with decay and eggs or something. Ask a priest to bless this place. Yeah, actually, I'll show you guys quick. If you could see, there's actually a church right over there on the other side of the fence. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not affiliated with the cemetery, but are you working alone? Yes. I run this place alone. Hello, Caroline. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh God, that smell. It's like right in front. Oh my God. All right, guys. All right, I don't want to get into that. All right, guys, I gotta go.
His phone was suddenly knocked straight out of his hand by something he couldn't see. The camera spins, slams onto the concrete, and the screen goes dark. When he grabs it again, his voice is no longer calm, and within seconds he ends the stream. That sulfur-like smell is also worth noticing, because in many paranormal stories and supernatural traditions, the smell of rotten eggs or sulfur is often linked to something dark, aggressive, or possibly malevolent. Of course, a smell can't be proven on camera, but it's the kind of detail that keeps repeating in this same haunted garage. Then he came back again. This time it was around dusk, after he claimed to see a ball of light moving outside the garage window. He unlocked the door, stepped inside with his phone recording, and almost immediately, the activity started again.
All right, so I just pulled in. As I was just backing in, I saw either I don't know, some kind of light was in front of this window, and it wasn't like the lights were on in there. It was like a flashlight or I don't know what it was, but I want to start recording as soon as I get it. It was definitely that window. And it wasn't all the light. It wasn't all the lights. All the lights weren't on. It was like I don't know if it was a flashlight or it was like, I don't know. It was like a little ball of light, but it was also had like rays or beams coming from, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a flashlight shine. Or flashlight shine or something. Good morning. Can I see this is on? too. So that somehow fell from there to there by itself overnight. I don't know why it's always this window. I don't know what is the significance with that window. Good morning. No, I had somebody in one of the lives who said he was a medium and swore he was watching a older man in overalls working at this bench during my live. But that's where that rotten egg smell was emanating from, was that spot over there. So I have no idea if it's related or not, but I had no idea what that ball of light or whatever that light source was. That's why I want to get a camera in here and keep it recording 24/7.
Two separate crashes happen while he is inside the garage. After the first one, he finds a sledgehammer lying on the concrete floor, insisting it had been resting on a wooden table moments before. Then, from another part of the garage, a second hard clatter rings out. Each time, he talks directly to the empty room, calm but clearly tense, as if he already believes something in there is listening. He also mentions that during an earlier live stream, a viewer claiming to be a medium said they saw a man in overalls working at the garage workbench, the same area where the rotten egg smell was supposedly strongest. He admits he can't prove that, but after everything he's captured, he can't fully dismiss it either. And then the most disturbing part happens, because the activity doesn't stay inside the garage. Back at his house, while walking through the living room with his phone out, he tries to record what sounds like footsteps coming from the basement stairs. But instead of footsteps, he captures something far more alarming.
Alright guys, so I just was hearing the walking on the basement steps again. I want to see if I catch it. See if it does it again. It was 4 times. I don't know if it was up, down. It sounded like up, down, up, down. It was literally right as I was making coffee. I started hearing it, and it was just, like I said, I heard it 4 times. No, it's not gonna do it. I was making the coffee, I swore I heard knocking on this door. Okay. I have no idea.
Slotted spoon is suddenly thrown from somewhere off camera and skids loudly across the kitchen floor. He freezes. Before that moment, strange animal-like grunts and wet, low snorting sounds can be heard in the room, sounds that don't seem to match anything around him. This is where the haunting starts to feel less like random noises and more like possible poltergeist activity. Doors creaking, walls settling or pipes knocking can sometimes be explained away. But an object being thrown across a kitchen with force and direction is much harder to ignore. Then came the sighting that seemed to shake him more than anything else. He returned to the garage at dusk and claims he saw a misty gray figure shaped like a man, standing inside with its back turned. When he yelled, the figure collapsed inward and vanished, almost like it was being pulled into a single point in the air. He described it as being sucked into a pinhole. Still terrified, he started recording moments later and tried to explain what he had just seen. Listen closely.
All right, guys, so I just had something that I cannot explain. I just saw somebody. I literally just saw somebody. I came in, did my normal, Jesus Christ. I came in, did my normal stuff, opened the doors, turned the lights on, set my bag, oh Jesus. Set my bag and coffee over there, came and opened this bay door, turned around, and there was somebody standing there with their back to me. And my reaction, like, at first I was like, hey, like greeting somebody, but then like instantly I realized there's not supposed to be anybody else here. So it turned to like a, hey, and then like a scream. I have not yelled like that. And I can't remember the last time I yelled like that. And when I yelled, this thing just like vanished into itself, like it was sucked into a little pinhole, like it just shoo. And it had its back to me, but it looked like it was slightly starting to turn its head when I yelled. And it was a man, but it was not like dark or like a black shadow. It was like grayish. It was like a misty gray, but I could make out that it was a male. And it, holy, I was literally right in front of this mower. Because like I said, I opened that bay and looked, and it just, oh my God. I need cameras in here. I swear, I was not further than that. Not further than this mower here. You're not welcome here. Any negative or evil spirits, you're not welcome. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. He protects me. His light shines around me and my property and my space. You're not allowed here. You're not allowed to follow me home. You're not allowed to attach to me. You're not welcome. Please find your peace. The Lord's light surrounds me and everywhere I go. Holy shit.
While he is still describing the figure disappearing, a hacksaw suddenly crashes to the concrete somewhere off to his right. The loud clang stops him mid-sentence. For a moment, he stands completely still. Then he begins speaking directly to whatever is inside that garage, warning it that it is not welcome and that it is not allowed to follow him home. His voice trembles as he says it. The figure he described is strange because it doesn't quite match a typical shadow figure. It wasn't completely black. It was gray, misty, and human-shaped, solid enough that, at first glance, he thought it was a real person. Some viewers believe it could be an apparition connected to the cemetery nearby. Others think the garage itself may be holding on to something from the past. But whatever is happening in that building, the scariest part is that he keeps going back. And after the crashes, the thrown objects, the sulfur smell, the disembodied sounds, and that vanishing gray figure, one thing is clear. Whatever is inside that garage has not shown any sign of stopping. The exact source of this next video is completely unknown, since it has been re-uploaded and shared all across the internet. The chilling footage shows a man dealing with some intense and terrifying paranormal activity happening right inside his own home. He says he kept hearing loud, unexplained knocking noises on his bedroom door that kept him awake all night long. Exhausted and terrified, he finally decided to grab his camera to investigate and document exactly what was happening outside his room.
¿Qué pasa, boludo? Estoy en mi pieza queriendo dormir, boludo, y me toca la puerta toda la noche, amigo. Son como las 1 de la mañana. No, amigo, ¿qué mierda es eso, boludo? ¿Qué mierda sos, la concha de tu madre? Boludo, no. Amigo, no hay nadie, boludo. No. De hoy se está escuchando esa mierda. ¿Qué? No, boludo, No, 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 no. No, amigo, no, 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 no. No, amigo, de nuevo esto. Pero qué mierda, boludo. No, 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 enloquecer, boludo.
You saw that, right?
You saw that, right? The video starts with the man standing in his pitch-black dining area. When he finally switches on the light, you can clearly see a creepy dark figure peeking at him from the kitchen doorway. The figure quickly vanishes into the darkness. He bravely goes after it into the kitchen, but there is absolutely no one there. Keep in mind, the kitchen is incredibly small, and there is nowhere for a person to hide. Suddenly, a roll of paper towels falls to the floor out in the dining room. He looks around but still cannot find anyone else in the house. Then a set of chimes hanging by the door starts shaking all on their own, almost like something invisible just walked right into them. But the scariest moment happens right at the very end. He pulls back the kitchen curtain to look outside, and right there in the reflection of the glass, you can clearly see a solid dark figure standing directly behind him. He spins around as fast as he can, but once again, the room is completely empty. So what is lurking inside this man's house? TikTok user Sabrina C. Coven claims her apartment has been experiencing strange activity for a while now. Doors opening and closing by themselves, drawers sliding out when no one is nearby. The kind of small, unsettling moments that are easy to ignore at first until they start happening too often. Then one night, Sabrina's CCTV camera captures something far more disturbing. At 5:41 in the morning, her cat is calmly walking through the living room when something suddenly happens. Out of nowhere, the cat appears to be launched into the air, then dragged across the floor toward the dining room by something no one can see. Cat begins hissing violently, reacting as if it's being attacked by an unseen force, while the other pets in the apartment become visibly disturbed. Moments later, a chair under the dining table seems to shift on its own. The noise wakes Sabrina, and she rushes out to check what happened. Thankfully, all of her pets are unharmed. But when she reviews the CCTV footage, she's left completely baffled. Sabrina says this cat could not have jumped like that on its own, because the cat is actually missing one of its legs. So, was this just a bizarre accident caught on camera? Or did Sabrina's apartment capture real poltergeist activity targeting her pet? Let me know what you think. We have featured a TikTok user named Rosanna. She has been documenting relentless paranormal activity that has been plaguing her apartment for quite some time. Rosanna claims that she cannot move out due to her financial situation, and she does not have any family that she can move in with. In the past, she had captured everything from solid black apparitions manifesting in her home to random plumes of smoke and intense poltergeist activity. Strangely, Rosanna completely disappeared and had not shared a single update since February of this year. That is, until May 6th, 2026, when she finally returned and shared something truly terrifying.
Il est 5 heures. Il est 5 heures. 5 heures. 5 heures. 5 heures. 5 heures. 5 heures, voilà. Ça continue. Ça continue.
At 5 a.m., Rosanna hears a heavy knocking at her front door. Cautiously, she approaches to look through the peephole. When she looks through the glass, it appears to be stained with a thick red liquid. Suddenly, the hole goes completely dark and a pair of strange, inhuman eyes with narrow slits appear, staring right back at her from the dark hallway. Rosanna dashes back in sheer horror. She starts coughing violently, later claiming she felt her throat physically closing up. But the nightmare does not stop there. She notices a dark shadow moving in the gap under the door. As she leans down to record underneath the door frame, a mysterious dark smoke violently shoots out from the gap directly at her. Rosanna runs away screaming in an absolute panic, stating that the strange smoke actually felt like it burned her face. So, what is relentlessly terrorizing Rosanna inside her own home? The exact source of this next video is completely unknown, since it has been re-uploaded multiple times across the internet. The footage appears to be taken from a security camera inside a hotel laundry room. The security staff at the hotel noticed some bizarre things happening in the room, so they decided to check the security footage to see if anything was captured on tape. What they found hiding in the dark is truly chilling.
Видел, какой шайтан ходит.
Тихо, не матюкайся, давай, снимай. Я вам говорю, это не серьезно. Высота, посмотри.
Стой, ну это что такое?
Все? Откроется обратно. Да? Да. Ну, еще двинулся, видишь? Угу.
First, you can clearly see one of the large laundry baskets start moving completely on its own. It gets dragged across the floor almost deliberately. Then you saw that, right? Out in the dark hallway, a terrifying shadow figure comes into view. When we zoom in and brighten the footage, you can clearly see what seems to be a full apparition walking slowly from left to right. Immediately after the figure passes, the door violently slams shut all on its own. It is almost as if the entity did not like being watched and slammed the door for privacy. A man was riding his motorcycle alone down a dark, isolated road at night, on his way to a wedding, when something near the roadside suddenly made him slow down. At that hour, the road should have been empty. No people, no traffic, nothing but his headlight cutting through the darkness ahead. But as he continued forward, a strange figure appeared in the distance, standing out in a place where no one should have been. Watch closely.
Man.
shit! Oh shit, man! Oh shit, man! Oh!
As the motorcycle's headlight stretches across the road, it reveals the outline of a tall, pale figure walking along the side. What makes it so unsettling is how strangely calm it seems. It doesn't react to the motorcycle. It doesn't step away. It doesn't even appear to acknowledge him. It simply keeps moving forward, silent, stiff, and almost ghost-like. Some viewers believe this could be a roadside apparition, the kind often connected to old accidents, tragedies, or haunted roads where figures appear without warning and vanish just as quickly. So if you were riding alone on that same dark road and something like this appeared in your headlights, would you stop to figure out what it was, or would you keep driving and never look back? An Algerian paranormal investigator on TikTok usually goes live for his 500,000 followers to watch his chilling explorations of abandoned buildings in Algeria. He is well known for his immersive point of view style, strapping on a GoPro so his audience can experience exactly what he sees in real time. We managed to record a segment from one of his recent live sessions where he is exploring a massive decaying accommodation building. What starts as a bizarre discovery quickly turns into a terrifying paranormal encounter.
الجزء اللي فات لقيت مع هذه البقرة في الطابق الخامس. رغم أنه الأمر كان غريب جدا إلا أني قررت نكمل المغامرة.
أكبر الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء.
بعد ما كملت استكشفت الطابق الأخير. كنت على بالي باللي كاين مفاجآت في انتظاري في طريق العودة.
بسم الله بابا بسم الله بابا هيك
مرة أخرى نفس الحيوان ولكنه بدل المكان فقط. قولوا لي في التعليقات وش رايكم، إذا هذا حيوان عادي ولا جن.
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء هو السميع العليم.
حتى الآن الأوضاع كانت هادئة، ولكن كاين قاعدة اللي نمشي بها أنا اللي تقول الهدوء يسبق العاصفة.
بسم الله هوبا با لا 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 ما كان خطير لا 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 با بسم الله هوبا هوبا.
As he is exploring the dark building, he somehow finds a live cow just wandering around on the 5th floor. While finding farm animals trapped in an abandoned high-rise is definitely strange, it is not exactly paranormal. But as he continues his investigation, he starts hearing loud, heavy banging noises echoing down the pitch-black hallway. He begins speed walking, quickly peering inside each room as he passes by. Suddenly, as he looks into one of the empty rooms, you can clearly see a glowing white apparition fly incredibly fast from right to left. While the movement is too quick to make out an exact shape, you can hear a distinct loud bang at the exact moment the entity flies across the room. So what is haunting this decaying building? Kay is a TikTok user who rarely posts anything unusual, mostly just the occasional photo or everyday update. But away from social media, she works as a nurse inside the high-security lockdown ward of a hospital, a place that already feels unsettling after the lights go out. One evening, she uploaded a piece of CCTV footage that left her completely shaken. The camera was pointed toward a dark and used lockdown room that had been closed off and left empty for the day. No patients, no staff, no reason for anyone to be inside. But as the surveillance camera kept rolling, something appeared in the darkness. Keep your eyes on the shadows for this one. From the very first moment, the figure inside that room looks wrong. A pale, human-like shape can be seen lurking behind one of the structural columns, almost hiding in the darkness. But the longer you look, the more disturbing it becomes. Its body appears unnaturally tall, with long, stretched-out limbs that move in a stiff, jerky way. Nothing like a normal person walking through a hospital room. Then, at one point in the footage, a sudden flash of light seems to burst from the figure itself, making the whole clip even harder to explain. No one has been able to figure out where that light came from, or how something with those bizarre proportions could have gotten inside a secured medical facility in the first place. So, did Kay capture a person hiding where they should never have been? Or something far more paranormal caught on camera inside a locked hospital ward? Let me know what you think. TikTok account that goes by the name The Black Orchard Films belongs to a real estate agent who has previously captured some very convincing poltergeist activity inside homes that he was showing to clients. But now he believes that something sinister might have actually followed him back from one of those properties and is currently manifesting right inside his own house.
Is it, am I tripping or is it? Someone sitting on my couch, but like, there's no one there. What? But like, there's no one there. There's no one on the couch. Oh my God, it's gone.
As he points his camera at the blank television screen, you can clearly see the reflection of a dark shadow figure sitting perfectly still on his couch. But when he immediately spins around to face the couch itself, there is absolutely no one there. He keeps panning the camera between the television and the empty couch, but he simply cannot catch the figure in the room. It only appears in the eerie reflection. But we are not done yet. A user who goes by the name La Familia Sanchez never posts anything paranormal. Actually, most of their videos feature wholesome family moments. But one video uploaded on May 25th, 2026 really caught our eye. While we do not think this is a ghost caught on tape, it is definitely a bizarre glitch in the Matrix.
As soon as I step out, watch, look. Right there. Ooh.
They came out of nowhere.
They disappeared.
Look. So like, there was like nothing on the floor right now?
As the family is walking out of their house and onto the front porch, a pair of eyeglasses magically appears on the ground completely out of nowhere. What is absolutely fascinating about this is that while cynics might claim it is just a camera glitch, you can clearly see the family stepping on that exact same empty spot just moments before the glasses instantly materialize. So what is going on here? Did an object just spawn into our reality? Or is there a completely logical explanation for this bizarre visual anomaly? You decide.